I was so not really ready for that at all. I've still got my headphones on. It's because Lou and Greg Carter on my system, you both came up instantly. Came up absolutely instantly for Space Camp. So we managed to get it in the last bit. Well, a few people got that after Greg and Lou, though. Mr. Purr, Paul Dunn, Sprue and Glue. It's a weird poster. I haven't seen that poster for Space Camp, I have to say. But lovely film. Absolutely brilliant film. And obviously it's got Lee Thompson in it, so it's going to be good. We're going to be building the Ferrari today, so I thought we're going to have some fun before we do the build. I'm going to go through all the stuff that we're not using at the moment, and we're going to put it back in the box so you can see how fun this build is. Now, I've already looked through the instructions of this, and there's already some errors on it. It's asking me to use a Type D screw. I've looked through all the screws, and I saved all the screws for this. I haven't got any Type D screws. What I have got is this whole vat of screws in here, so I'm going to wing it, I think. In the issue, they want Type D screws. I think that's issue 63 or something. They do provide Type V screws, but they don't do anything with it. So, I mean, I don't know. I haven't got a clue, which is going to be a little bit crazy. Hello, Christian from Grantham. Where's your little jingle? There it is.
Let's give it up big time. Hello, Christian from Grantham. Now, let's get cracking.
Now, I am aware, if you're watching in a country where I put subtitles on, I'm a little bit tardy with the subtitles at the moment. I'm about 4 or 5 videos behind. I will get on that tonight after the stream. I've been quite busy, actually, not only building, but I've been on the Orca a lot lately. And with the Orca, I found this picture. This is the problems that me and Phil are having doing this build. So here's a picture from the Orca. Now, there was 2 Orca boats, okay? This one here, this is someone repairing the shark. Now, check out the base where he's on there, the deck, and you can see that's pretty much how I'm laying my deck out, with planks, and it's painted like that. But in the film, the other version of the Orca hasn't got planks at all. But I have, but it's just been painted over. Can you see the difference between them? Look, and when you watch the film, it flicks between that sort of decking and that sort of decking so many times that it's just it's a nightmare trying to figure out how to do it. So I'm laying mine out a little bit like that at the moment. So that's how mine is. Today, though, I've been working on the interior of the Orca, and that's now looking like that. It looks too neat at the moment, but all the stuff on top of that is control boxes and control panels and books and God knows what else. So that's where we are so far with the interior of the Orca. And just before the stream today, I've been doing the glazing for all the windows around the outside. You can see some gaps in there. They're not stuck down. They've just been put on temporarily there. So that's where we are with the Orca. The screws come in the next pack. Yeah, probably. Look, I've looked for all the packs. They give us loads of screws in this pack, which we don't do anything with either. You'll see how frustrated I'm going to get with this tonight. And I was going to do the Fast and the Furious Dodge Charger. That's going to be out tomorrow now. But I said to Mrs. Welderwayne, you know what? It's Car Crash Tuesday, so why don't I just tackle the hardest thing ever? Things always go wrong on Tuesday anyway, so who matters? This whole build is about winging it. Yeah, you're damn right there, Robert. You saying that. I mean, we're going to be using this tonight, which is big. And we've still got this, which hasn't been connected, this pipe here. And on the back here, look, we've still got this pipe here, which hasn't been connected either. I don't know if it was meant to have been. I haven't got a clue. At this point, I don't care. It's all fun. The other thing that I thought you might find fun today is I've been doing Elf on the Shelf with my kids. They're not here at the moment, so I just send them pictures of the Elf on the Shelf. And I thought there's someone won the internet, if that's still a term, with their Elf on a Shelf. Check this one out. This is so funny. See, I'd do that for my kids, but they wouldn't get the reference. But I do think that's absolutely brilliant. Elf on a Shelf with an alien theme. Oh, it's all good. Now, the other thing that I want to check out is obviously we are going to be having a Christmas quiz next week. And that's going to be on Thursday, the 23rd of December at 7 o'clock on the YouTube channel. I will get links posted out. And I will make sure that the video is unlisted, like this one was for some reason. I'll make sure it's public. And I'm on a recruitment drive for subscribers for some reason, and I don't know why. The subscribers have actually dropped. So not actually the figure, just what I get a day. So if you haven't subscribed, tap that subscribe button and make that thing pop up on the screen, and just plague this stream with subscribe messages today. That'd be really appreciated. And if you've already subscribed, don't think unsubscribing and resubscribing is going to make it pop up, because I don't think it does. So I'll save you the worry there. The oh, thank you, Mike King. The I mean, it's not staying like that. I mean, it's far too neat, far too neat. It needs a lot of weathering up, and there's a lot of like details going into it. Now, I've decided to keep 3 walls painted like you saw there, but the back wall is still wood. As a matter of fact, hang on a second. Let me show you the back wall. Oh. There we go. I'm back. So I've been making my primer coat really rough on this side as well, ready for painting. That's not the colour of the Orca, but as you can see, it's all wood. It's all glazed as well. And the reason being is because we're going to have a first aid box here. I couldn't figure out what this thing was here. I thought it was a barometer, but I think it's a clock. But what it actually is, it's a porthole. I didn't realise that. It's a porthole which has been turned into a clock. So that's going to be easy to do. This whole area here is where the chair goes, so you don't see that. And there's a fire extinguisher hanging just there. But that's the interior of the Orca as well. So I'm getting on with it now. Phil's back now. I don't know if he's in chat tonight. But I know he's been working on his as well. But we're both tackling different things at different times. I'm doing the cabin because that's going to be enclosed. I'm never going to be able to get to it again afterwards. So we'll see how we go from that. Put the elf in the X-Wing. It might actually fit. I don't know. I've got a little baby elf, so I could try to do that. There's your shout out, Roadrunner J. How are you? You lost a few on R2-D2. Lucky I found them in a weird place. What's that? Screws? I don't know. Space Camp Trivia. Never had release after Space Shuttle accident out of respect for the 7 astronauts. Really? I wasn't aware of that. I remember the space station Daedalus. I love that name, Daedalus. I could say that word there's 2 words, American words. Well, Daedalus is Greek, but the 2 words that just roll off the tongue for me. Daedalus. I love that, and I love Illinois. Illinois. Don't ask me why. Oh, I'm strange. It's because I'm on the Heineken tonight. It has to look battered up. Oh, it's going to look really battered. That's the joy of this one. It don't really matter what sort of paint job you do on it. It's gonna look rough. It's gonna look rough, but I'm looking forward to that. Oh, thank you, Adam. We like doing these streams. Now, normally I wouldn't be doing a stream tonight, but as we're going up to Christmas and, you know, I'm taking Mrs. World away to the Titanic exhibition in London on Saturday, I thought, well, that's the date night there, so let's do a live stream on Tuesday. I don't know how she feels about that. As a matter of fact, I don't know if she's in chat. She's probably like watching TV or something. Who knows? Now, with Agora models, I want to ask questions. Who's got boxes at the moment? Now, I've just done the fire truck pack 2. I've still got to do the Bismarck pack 9, and I will get onto that. But I'm wondering about things like the Leopard tank, the Zero Fighter, and the Jaguar. Has anyone had any of those free yet? Because I think that's what the next one's going to be out of. You're from Illinois. I just love that. Illinois. It just rolls off the tongue. Mrs. World Away knows what I'm talking about because her mum loves the word as well. Zero screws are a pain. They don't mark the packets. They're not as bad, John, as the DB5, I'm telling you. The DB5 even refers to, if you saw the video today with the bonnet, screws that I didn't even have in the pack. And when you check the inventory, they're not even on that either. So it's like magic them up. So I am going to touch them up with a bit of silver paint. But I did have, as you can see, I keep pretty much every spare screw I've got, rather than in a box, in this magnetic thing here that John Hay got me. I think, John, you're in chat as well. I think I've seen you in there. You've had a second fire truck. Oh, my God. There we go. Look, keep them coming. You got an email from Gordon. I had a couple of teasers for 2020. It looks like the Hachette Titanic and Lambo. The Hachette Titanic's going to be brilliant because I'm not actually doing that. I'm doing the Eagle Moss one. So I might do that later on down the road. It wasn't going to be on the channel anyway, but we'll see how that goes. All cool. Top 10 reasons why you should be a mod. Phil Haynes, that's obviously a cut and paste message, but we don't really need mods on this channel. I have to say, we've got our mods, but we're quite a good community here. We don't go around insulting each other. At least I hope we don't. You've got both the Zero and the Leopard. Oh, right. Okay, then, John. That's cool. I haven't even, well, I need to do it. The Bismarck's obviously finished now after today's video. We've got to do the rigging in 140, but everything else is the base now. It looks good. I think the only problem is that the stand is going to lift it up. So it is going to condense some of the parts together. So any gaps that you can see in the sides there, which you can't really see any, will close. Trouble is, on the decks, the deck's like that. And it needs to be like that, the actual hull. Don't know quite what I'm going to do at the moment. Some people have been getting cable ties and trying to pull it together. But it is a common problem, apparently. So we'll have to see. You've got Pack 8 and a Zero Fighter as well. See, what I'm trying to do is, if they're on the way, then I need to start allocating time that I can actually do this. Because those packs, like Pack 8, the Zero, the Leopard, and the Bismarck, just take all day, sometimes 2 days, sometimes a week. So, and obviously I'm conscious about Christmas next week. There's going to be no video on the channel on Christmas Eve. It's going to be finishing the last video we do next week will be the quiz, the 2-hour quiz. So that should be fun. So, everyone's happy. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you first off a quick inventory of what we've got and what we don't use on the Ferrari at the moment. So here we go. I will try and catch up with chat afterwards, but we have got 3 tyres. 1, 2, and then this one, which is bigger than these ones here. 3 tyres. So I'm going to put them gently in my box I've got down here because we're not using them. We've got whatever this is. Some sort of, I don't know, air thing, I think. We don't use that. That can go away. We've got this. 2 of these bars in here. Don't know what that's for. That can go away. We've got these 2 little things here. Don't know what that is. That can go away. We've got 2 of these great big drums here. One of them is for the batteries, which we're not using, so we can put them away. We've got some brackets here. We're not using that. This bracket here, we're not using that. This bracket here, we're not using that. Put that away. Another bracket, we're not using that. We've got another, I don't know what this is, vent. We're not using that. We've got whatever this is. I've got no idea, but we're not using that. We've got the, the front of the vehicle here. This looks brilliant, but we're not using that. We've got 2 more of these sort of like vents. I don't know what they are. Blowers. We're not using that. And we've got these ring things here. We're not using that. We're using a little clip and some tiny little spring things. I don't know what these are for. I've got a couple of packets of them. We're not using them. And we've got this little emblem with a Ferrari on it, which has got some adhesive on the back of it. We're not using that. We've got these, which we are using. We are going to be using this one, which is cool. And also, stage 60, we had a rim for the tyre, which we will be using. But check this out. This is what I'm on about before. We've got one of these, again, which we won't be using. We've got a W screw, which we won't be using. We've got these 2 bits here, or 3 bits here, which we will be using. So it's all good. So I'm going to put that one away as well. Before I get onto the wheel, we've obviously got this massive section here, which I showed you with the engine. I'm going to put that to one side because we are going to use that later on today. But this whole section here, which has got the front discs on, it's got the radiator on and the seats in, it does look quite impressive. Guess what? We're not using. So I'm going to put this down on the floor. Oh dear. Which means that we have got the tyres ready to go in this one. So I'm going to show you the magazine. Let's get this one first. This is stage 61. There is your centerfold, which is a Ferrari 512M Sunoco. And all we've got to do in this one is make a tyre. So we're going to take the tyre section, put this little thing inside here, put the top on, push that in, and then we've got another tyre. So I believe that means we've now got the 4 tyres when that's completed. So let's do that one first. This is as crazy as the DB5. And I didn't even know how crazy the DB5 was until I started doing it. I mean, there was like 3 or 4 stages that we didn't do anything with. But there you go. So we've got the tyre here and we've got the rim looking like that. So in the rim, we're going to be opening this little plastic thing here. What do they call it? The ring nut. That's what they're calling it. The ring nut. Okay, I'm just figuring out what way around this goes. Okay, it's going to be going, let's put it in first actually so you can see, that way round so it fits flat in there perfectly like that. Turn the page over because I am having to look at the instructions for this build because I haven't got a clue what I'm doing. Okay, and this is going to go over the top of that section. I'm just lining up the lugs on here so that we can actually screw it down. And it's going to go on just like that. And we're going to hold all this together with a type B screw, or actually 3 type B screws, which come in this pack. So that's handy. You notice that I've started this a lot earlier, the build tonight, because last week I didn't get time to do everything I wanted to do on the Iron Man build. Here's the second one. And then finally, here's the third one. Now, what I have been doing on this build, I had about 7 or 8 packs of packets of screws, which, I mean, I've got screws everywhere for every build, so I've actually just been condensing them into their bags, which I think is a lot easier than keeping them in a pillbox. I don't know why. That's just me. Whoops. Getting them back in here is a nightmare though. Okay, so that's that in there. And then all we're going to do is we're going to be pushing this through that. Now, we shouldn't need water for this. They're quite, as you can see, they're quite soft. So putting this in and making sure that the tyres are around the inside of this rim here. So it looks like that. Checking the other side. And that looks absolutely perfect. So we have got another tyre complete. And that is all there is to do in that stage. Very good. I'm going to chill out because that wasn't a car crash. Thank you, Aryan BP. Much appreciated. Remember, if you haven't subscribed, click that subscribe button. I'm trying to get my subscription levels up again. I normally have about 50 to 80 a day, and on Sunday I lost 5 in the day. I don't know what happened there, and I got 80 back on Monday. I think YouTube happened, probably a blip or something. So all fun. What did we do? Actually, I'm just going to tell you. On Saturday, I went to see the Muppet Christmas Carol at the Royal Albert Hall, which was absolutely brilliant. And you know what? It started. If you've ever watched the Muppet Christmas Carol, the score at the start, where they're playing a medley of the songs, it got to "It Feels Like Christmas," which is about 10 seconds into the thing. And I'm watching it with my daughter because it was like my Christmas present. And I thought, I'm welling up. And I said to Charlotte, I'm crying. I'm crying. I can't believe this so much. Tears streaming down my face because I love A Muppet Christmas Carol. And the good thing was that it was the complete version. They had the Love Is Gone in the film and everything. They still haven't done that on the Disney Channel, but they showed the full version. So I was well happy with that. And then after that, we rushed back to Leicester Square, and London was really busy, and saw the Book of Mormon. If you haven't seen that, oh my God. You're in for a treat. It's if you're easily offended, please don't go and see it. Do not go and see it if you're easily offended. But if you're pretty open-minded, then you're gonna love it. It was brilliant. Okay, so let's go on to stage 62, and as you can see, we have got the Ferrari 712 Can-Am. This is a lovely shaped Ferrari. This one, I do like that. Okay, and in this one, looks like we have got the rear bumper. So we've got quite a lot. Now, everything that we've got in this stage here, we get to install. The only problem is that something that we're about to put in here, I believe in the next stage, they want us to take it straight back out again. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what's going to happen. So let's see what's going to happen, because I haven't got a clue. Ugh. Get this one out. This is stage 62. It's ginormous. Now, I've paid for 12 of these up front, and I only got delivered 4. So I don't know where they all are. Haven't got a clue. But as you can see in this pack, we've got size V screws, but they're wanting us to use size D screws later on. And we've also got some size H screws. And we've also got this support bar, which is already linked together. I'll have a look at that in a second. We've got some little pieces here, and then we've got, wow, this is impressive. This is all metal. Trying to get it out. God, this Ferrari is going to be ginormous compared to some of the other cars. You know what? I'm just wow. I'd actually say this is just as wide, perhaps even a little bit wider than the Ecto 1. Believe it or not. It's got some condensation marks on there. I'll have to clean them off. I don't know why. It's probably because it's been delivered today and it's already been coloured in the inside as well. But that is a solid piece of metal. Just put a packet of... I did put a packet of screws in the bin, did I? Stand by. I'm just checking. That was the pack I just opened. There's nothing in there. No. Oh, well. We'll see. We'll see, John. I don't think I did. So anyway, so what we're going to be doing first is we've got this detail here, which is installed... God, they're not even giving it a name. They're just calling it detail. This is called detail, everyone. Okay, so this is going to be going... stand by. The instructions aren't really giving much away. It looks like it's going in this little hole just down here. So it's going to go... Is that right? That doesn't look right. Stand by. It goes this way around. Right, okay, yep. So it's going to go in this hole here. And it's just a push-in, I'm guessing. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't want to go in. It's not screwed in at all. But that's definitely where it goes. I'm going to use my old trick. Putting a little bit of oil in there. And see if that can help that pin go in. It goes this way around. There. And it does work. See? A little bit of oil makes that go in. So we've got that coming out the other side. Now they're going to want us to take that out in the next stage. I guarantee it. So not good. Not good at all. And then we've got this detail, which is please fit the tow hook. This is the tow hook. So I know what that's for. That's going to go into this little hole here. It is shaped. So I'm just making sure we've got it round the right way. And I will push that in like that. And that's in place perfectly. Then we're going to be mucking around with this thing here, which is the tail section prop. We need to make sure it works properly. So, get this out. So what this should do, it should open, and then I should be able to engage it in there so it stays rigid, as you can see there. Rigid. I think that's probably going to get me banned, using words like rigid. And then it just folds up like that. We want to keep it in its folded up position. Because, you know what, I think I am going to use my part work upgrades mat here. I don't want to scratch that there. This is going to be actually secured into the hole that we've just got there. And this is just going to go over the top like that. Just seeing what screw. Now, this is where they said they want a type D screw. I don't think it's a type D. I think they mean type V. Because the type D screws, from what I remember, are a lot thicker than this. And that hole is not that thick. So I'm going to use a type V screw. And if it's wrong, sue me. Because I'm winging it now. Okay. Let's see if we can get this in. So it's going to go in that way. So the bar is on top. Let's try and load this up. This is going to be a little bit tricky, I think. Oh, God, it starts. Okay. So I want it in that way. Nope. Oh, God, right, hang on. Hang on. It's hard for me to actually do this because I can't see a thing. Once I've got this engaged in there, which I have, I'm looking at it. That screw, I think, is far too long for what needs to go in there. So it can't be a V screw. Let me have a look at the thickness. Right, okay, so I think, looking at my little box of tricks, it's going to be one of these ones. Let's try that. I'm going to try and get the screw right first before I put this in. It's not that one. It needs to be thinner than that. It's quite a small, thin one. I think that one should do perfect. Let's try that. Nope, that's too thick. Stand by. Because I definitely haven't got any D screws. This one might be too thin. Nope, this one's perfect. There we go. So look how small that is. That's what I'm using. It's tiny. Absolutely tiny. So I think it's better to actually put it in like this. Through the other side. And then tighten that up. Now at the moment, that's just going to hang there like that. Eventually we'll be able to put that up later. But I think that is all there is to do in that stage. Just bending it a bit more so it's towards that in there. But that's it. It's all fully in. That weren't too bad, was it? Put that to one side. Because this is where things are going to get a little bit stupid. Because they're going to want me to take this out. Now these are V screws. So just want to put these screws back in the bag so I don't lose them. They're probably used in stage 98 or something further down the road. Who knows? V screws is the correct one, as it's on the V screw. Daryl, there is no way in a million years a V screw is going into that hole. Trust me. So if that's wrong, if they're saying it's a V screw in the YouTube videos, it definitely isn't. Definitely. It doesn't even matter about the thickness. It's just far too long for the amount of metal it's going in. It needs to be quite short. So, yeah, definitely. That's definitely wrong. Okay, so this is stage 63. In the centerfold, we have got the Ferrari 312P, looking like that. And then this is where things get a little bit silly because we're going to be building the oil. And people laugh at me that I can't say the word oil. We're going to be doing the oil cooler. And then we're going to be using these parts here, which as you saw came in stage 53. That's what I've saved out here. So they look like that. We're going to be attaching those to the side of the engine. And we're going to be putting a cable in, which means that we've still got some parts left over from this stage, which we're going to be leaving out. So there you go. You used a V screw. God, I don't know how you managed to get that in there. I couldn't get that V screw in there at all. I'm just looking at it. Look, the this is the problem with a V screw. Hang on a second. I think it's just too long. It's far too long for that piece. Look. Can you see that? I don't know. I haven't got a clue. Well, look, the screw I've used has done the job, so I can't tell you what screw that is, though. I haven't got a clue. Right, let's get pack 63 out, which is the oil cooler here. There we go. Make sure there's nothing in the bag. Otherwise, everyone shouts at me. Aileron. Yeah, I have problems with those words as well. Aileron, David. Aileron. Aileron. No, I bloody know. Okay, so we've got this section here, which is the we've got to mount the fix the fit into the oil radiator using the interlocking parts. Be sure that it's positioned as shown in the picture. So I'm looking at this tiny detail here. Stand by. Let's get these out. Little silver details. And it's basically going to be going on. Just getting my bearings with this one. So that's that way round. That looks good. With that pointing upwards, that's okay. And then this is going to be going over in stand by. This looks like it's going on in this direction here. So if I put this on first, all the way down, there we go. That fits on like that. So it looks just like the picture for a change. Then we're going to be taking out mount the level gauge on the oil tank, aligning the pins with the holes as shown. So we're going to be putting this here into these two pins. I'm always nervous about these ones because if you press in the wrong place, you could end up breaking it. But as you can see, it's gone in absolutely perfect there. What's next? We've got nothing to do. So these two now I can put away. We're not going to need them anymore. Typical. Absolutely typical. So they can go in my box of things that we're not doing anything with. Bring over the engine. And it's these 2 points on the front of the engine that I'm interested in. This is the parts that we're going to be putting in. And with these pointing towards the engine, we've got a pin going in this side here. And we're going to screw it in from the top hole here. So this is going to go in just, whoops, just like this. So one part in there and the top part in that little hole there. And it's going to be held in with a type T screw. I've got them. I've got a whole bag of them. These silver ones here. So we only need one. Will it hold is another thing. So I'll put that in here. Why we're putting this in now is completely beyond me, when it would have been far easier to put it in earlier on, before we put the engine in actually. Just trying to get this in the hole, which I can't see. There we go. I'm trying to get this lined up here, but having not much luck. There we go. Got it now. It's very hard to actually turn this screw because I really need a better angle on it. I mean, I've got that in now, as you can see, but that wasn't easy. Let's do the same on the other side. Making sure I am putting these on the right way. Yep, they definitely go on the outsides. So through the hole at the bottom, I'm going to drop this screw in some oil here. This oil's helped me out a couple of times tonight. Try and get this one in. This one's going in a lot easier than the other one did, that's for sure. And there we go. They're both in place on that side and that side. And then all we've got to do then is take out these parts here. Now, a little bit confused, just having a look how they've laid this out. I've got, oh my God, I've got these two things here, which it doesn't tell me really what I'm doing with. This picture shows you where the wiring should be in regards to the engine cradle. Note the position of the black cables. I don't know what these are. So I'll put them to one side for a second. I'm looking for the pin. Which is just on that point there. Okay, and that's going to be going, stand by. I'm figuring this out. On this end here, okay, I'm guessing. Ah, right, okay. So it's going into the hole. Don't know if you can see this, just down there. You can't see that at all. If I point to it there, I don't know. There's a hole, trust me. Just there. That this is going to go in. So it's just a push in. But again, God, trying to get to it is going to be a nightmare. Right, it's going to go in this way. This might be off camera while I'm doing this, because I can't actually see what I'm doing down here. There we go. So I've got that in, as you can see, just like that. Now, I might have to glue it because it doesn't want to stay in there. So I'll put those in. As ever, store your pieces away carefully next time. But they've made no mention at all to these. Nothing at all. Now, in issue 65, I've got some more parts of this. So I'm guessing they're going to link then. But they don't tell you anything to do with this. So I will put that safely away in the box. And I don't need this anymore. So we can put that safely away as well. And I'll put these T-screws back in the bag. So, let's go back to the main camera. Can you see what I mean? So far we've had a screw, which I'm dubious that V-screw fits in there. It tells you to use a D-screw, but I just think that's too long. I think that screw needs to be shorter, so that's why I used a different one. We've got pipes in that one, which it doesn't tell us to use. And in the next stage, you're about to see one of the parts that we just put in, we're going to take back out again. I don't know. If it's free or paid, I will drink it. Are we talking about alcohol? It may be a pain, Wayne, but it's looking good. It is looking good, but it's just right. You see, I'm trying not to watch any videos on the Supercar build-up site. I'm trying to do this build solely from the magazines because in this country, it was bought out as a retail issue in a like supermarket or your news agents. People don't have access to the internet. And I know that because the amount of emails I'm getting, especially asking what's going on with the steering parts in issue 44. And I know online it was all done. They don't tell you about what they did until issue 48. So people who are at issue 44 now are scratching their heads. But the instructions are all over the place. Can you imagine if we didn't have Marvel PHX, Todd McWilliams, My James Bond DB5 site, and all you had to do on that DB5 was rely on the instructions that came with it? I can see why so many people had the first time it come around in like 2010 had so much of a problem getting it all together. It's a nightmare. And I do think that the instructions for this magazine and the DB5 was an afterthought. You know, they probably got someone together and said, you put it together, and that's the order they did it in. Because none of the orders make sense either. But who knows? Who knows? Right, okay, so let's go on to this last stage here. And that is stage, where are we? 64. Now, there's 100 stages in this build. So let's go to the centerfold. We've got the 1972 Ferrari 312 PB. Looking like that. And then what we're doing is, we're going to be assembling the gearbox oil cooler. Now, this is another mistake. They're asking us to put on a new transmission cover, which is going to replace the one that came in issue 14. Well, guess what? I haven't got one, and I do believe we had already changed this far earlier in the build. So they're asking us to do it in issue 64, but we changed this. God, I think we actually changed it in issue 14. So again, that doesn't make any sense at all. So I don't have to do that section there. That's already been done. So who knows? But again, if you're buying this from the supermarket, you're going to wonder why that isn't included in the box. You'll see in a second. Let's open pack 64. And as you can see, that part isn't in here at all. Not in there at all. And I think that is because we've already had it. So we can ignore that. But we're going to need to bring the bumper over again. And then that part that we put in, that I put a little bit of oil, look, they want us to take it out. We're going to be putting the bumper on the car, screwing it down, and then are they asking us to put it back in? I don't even think that's been put back in afterwards. It says fitted, keep the parts that you have temporarily removed safe. So we put that part in, and we're not going to be putting it back in again afterwards. We're leaving it out. Okay. That don't make any sense to me either. Right. Okay, it is what it is. I'm just bringing my mat down because I'm going to be bringing the bumper over. We've got some parts in this one, but I don't think we're using anything. Stand by. Let me just check. Nope. So again, we've got all of these details here, which we're not using. And it looks like we've got an oil cooler here, which we're not using. And that's it. So, go figure. So they can all go into the pile of bits. And let's put this bumper on. So if this is this way round, we're going to have this standing upright for now. And we're going to be putting this over these parts here, 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 and here. But first, I've got to take this part out that we put in and put that with my box of bits because we're not using that. You know, it seems like this build that we're creating like one or two things and then we're putting 5 or 7 things to one side. I'm just putting this up like that. And there we go. That's going to go on just like that there. Now that's going to be held in with type H screws, which I have got here. Let me just look at my box of tricks. There we go, type H. And we want 4 of these to go in. He says as he's just realizing, oh, there it is. I've lost me, my screwdriver. Okay, so let's get one down the bottom here first. Excellent. We'll have, I've just dropped one of the H screws. Typical. One on this side. I think we'll do this top one here. And that one's got in perfect. I might have to find that H screw because I need one more. One down the bottom here. I won't tighten that fully yet. Let me just see if I can find that H screw that I've just dropped. Ah, yep, there it is. And then finally, just one over this side here. Make sure they're on lovely and tight. It's just this one down here I need to tighten up. Not happy about that one. I'm having problems getting this one in. Stand by. Ah, it's going in now. There you go. Perfect. So, that is, we can put this part down now. That is the rear in place. I'm just showing you hopefully from, let's actually show you on the main camera. 1 second. Stand by. So that's looking like this at the moment. From underneath. It's a big old thing, isn't it? And it looks impressive, but trying to get to this stage is a nightmare because that is all there is to do in that stage. And that is all there is to do in pack 61 to 64. So not so much as a car crash tonight. Hello, I've got a lead here, which I don't know where that goes. Oh, I'll figure that out later. Not so much as a car crash. It's just annoying that the instructions just don't make any sense at all. But there you go. I'm just reading back on chat now because I've missed out on chat tonight while I've been concentrating on that. Everyone wants to do the A-Team van. You know, when I first started this channel, it was Knight Rider. Everyone wanted the Knight Rider kit car, and the A-Team was up there and Airwolf was up there as well. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the next couple of things. There has been an Airwolf trial from what I remember. I don't think I've ever seen an A-Team van trial. 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. Yeah, I mean, we're on stage 64 now, so hopefully we're going to start putting things together. It's crazy. There's a screw right hand side under mat, is there? Stand by. Let me move that. Ah! I've knocked Robbie over. I don't know. I don't think it's a big deal because look, I've got a bag of H screws here as well. So we're all right. Unless it wants me to use them. They do give you quite a few spares in here. I mean, this is why I've got this. I've actually got 2 of these. Look, but I'm only using 1 of them at the moment. But just say, look, they keep all my screws there. And all these plastic things here are from the James Bond encyclopedia. You know, the guides, because I have to get the instructions out to look at them. Although saying that, I haven't really touched them now since I discovered Marvel PHX's sites. So the Roadrunner, they don't do instructions per se online, but on supercarbuildup.com site, they do YouTube videos. So they do videos with no talking, it's just music showing them putting it together, which scarily doesn't match what the instructions are in the magazine. So if they're that far wrong, what's the point of printing a magazine? They could save money by not having a magazine, just saying check online. It winds me up. But what's more annoying, as I said, I've paid for 12 stages of this and I've only received 4. And I did see some people say that they've got 65, 66, 67 and 68. But I haven't received that at all. Screw loose, Wayne. Where? This is tight. This isn't moving. Where's there a screw loose? Or have I got a screw loose? I don't know. I haven't got a clue. I mean, is that... yeah, the arm is sitting right. That's okay. Car has a butt now. Well, it's got a bottom butt. It needs a top butt to go in there. I think this is going to... I mean, I know this is 1/8 scale, but it looks slightly bigger to me. This is a lot wider than a lot of the other cars that we've got. It's definitely... I mean, I've got the Peugeot. That's a stupid example. I'm just looking here. What we got there? We've got the Fast and the Furious Dodge Charger. It's wider than that. So, it's really wide. Got to be the worst build I ever did. The DB5 after collecting all... I think if you've got all the issues, Edward, it's not so much a problem. Now, next week, I'm obviously going to be doing 41 to 50. And I've heard from 50 onwards, everything starts going together. I'm really interested to see this ejector seat, because so many people have had problems. And I think I've already clocked what the problem is, that the bar underneath the chair needs to roll to release. But the way it's been designed, it can only pick up on one side. So it's sort of like only one side comes up and the other side stays flat. So I think if you make a pivot on the other side, which means a little bit of filing, that bar should be able to go like that. I'm hoping anyway, but we'll see. Until the chair's in, I won't even be able to check it, unfortunately. Instructions are put together by people that don't have lateral thinking, because lateral thinking is something you can't teach. Oh, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Ron. It's like common sense as well. All these like scientists that you're hearing and, you know, about the coronavirus and all of that. The problem is they may have all the intellect in the world, but I tend to find that the more intelligent someone is, the less common sense they have. So, I don't know if you've noticed that at all, but I definitely have noticed it. That makes your 112 cars look small. Well, Gary, I mean, I was going to put that up against the fire truck, and that's 124 scale. It's tiny. It's tiny. It's like the sort of Ferrari you'd find at a monster truck meet. They better do Christine. God, there's a lot of iconic cars that need to be done. But this 1.8 thing's really picked off. I didn't realise how many 1.8 cars there are actually out in the marketplace at the moment. But there you go. There's a pretty big scale Airwolf remote helicopter out there somewhere. Really? Oh my God. What about a Master Chief from Halo build? I've never played Halo. So I wouldn't know, Stuart. I've been a World of Warcraft person, and now I'm on Fortnite. I'm always on Fortnite at the moment. Looking back on Enterprise issue 14, did you fix that pinch yellow wire I was shouting at the screen? Yeah, I did, Robert. I fixed it straight after stream, actually. Apparently what... Chris Hirsch, you're in chat. Can't wait to see some body panels. Me too, Lou. Apparently, with the Enterprise, you've got the navigation lights which flash. And what Chris Hurst has done is he's just linked his beacon light to one of the flashing lights. So they're all blinking at the side and on top at the same time. I'm not going to do that. I said to Chris that I want my beacon light to just have the quick flash like a beacon would have, rather than a navigation light. So it's going to be out of sync with the navigation lights. So I will still be using an Arduino Nano. So that's probably going to be coming straight after Christmas, I reckon, because the top section is going to be done and we're going to be working on the bottom section. I've got some Arduino Nanos here. I just need to make sure I've got enough power coming off one of the wires, which should be 4.5 volts to run it. It should be fine, but we'll see. These model companies need a decent tech writer. But you know what, Lauren? Some of these instructions that we do get for magazines are impeccable. The IXO collections ones, anything from IXO is normally perfect. And as a matter of fact, I've got a sneaky suspicion that the person who did the instructions for them also did the instructions for the Routemaster bus, because they're laid out exactly the same way. Very easy to understand. But those body panels, I mean, they're right to leave it to the end. I don't know how much it costs to actually mould these parts, because that looks glorious. A big solid piece of metal. But, you know, how much we're up to stage 69, and most of it has been engine, only for us to completely hide the engine afterwards. How many times have I looked? Well, you can't even look in the DeLorean engine because you've got all that gumph on top of it. But I don't think I've ever looked in the Super Snake engine. I haven't looked in the Cobra engine. I'm never going to probably look in the Ecto-1 engine. So, you know, it's there. I know it's there. And if people want to look at it, they can. But it's fun to build. I love the build. Hence why I've got this engine. We will be doing the engine Patreons tomorrow. That V8 engine that works. We're gonna have a go at that. Oh, the screw is on the floor. That's okay, David. The DB5 seems a lot of plastic to me. I think, Jason, the inside is a lot of plastic. But again, you've got to fiddle around to get in there. I took someone's advice on the ignition key that I believe powers the car. I don't know what it does. I've glued that in because they said it could have a problem of falling into the dashboard, which I don't want to happen. So I'm taking everyone's advice through these builds. So if you've commented, then I've normally taken that advice. You'd absolutely agree about intellect versus logic. Yeah, it gets me. Wait, did you have a magnetic edge on the map? I have. There's one here. Oh, look. Is that where it landed? Look. Hang on. You're absolutely right, Pete. Look. That's an H screw, isn't it? I'll leave that there. That's what this is for, you see. It's a shame that Model Designs went out of business because that mat's invaluable. Well done, Pete. You must have buckets of common sense in. Take it car mechanics, not your thing. Not at all, Ian. I can do an oil change. I can change the thermostat. I can probably do a service on a car, no problems, but that's about it for me. You'd be great at explaining what's wrong with someone's car. I'd just kick the tyre and say, yeah, it's screwed. It's going to cost you a lot of money. As long as you suck your teeth, they'll believe you. You know, don't know. 66 and 68s are doors, but guess what you do with them? Are they going to go into the whole kit there? I showed you at the start of this video everything that we're not using and put back in the box. I think we've got more stuff in there now that we haven't used, because the only things we used was 2 items, but we put far more in there, didn't we? How do I say Wyoming? Wyoming, is that right? Wyoming. I hope that's right. I should, High Country Adventurers, I should try and get you to say some of the British place names. Like Leicester and Harborough, or Haysborough should I say, in Norfolk. Not even spelt that way. Or Mulgai. I've seen some of the reviews, spoiler-free reviews of Spider-Man. It's going to be so hard. See, I'm not seeing it until I believe either the 20th or the 21st of December, because I promised my son that I will take him to see it, and he's not back here till the 19th of December. So I'm just going to, you know, la 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 la, not listen to anything. So normally, me and Mrs. World Away will go to the midnight showing tomorrow night for it, but obviously she's got to get up for school, and the school kids they tend not to learn very well when their teacher's asleep. So you too, Rob. Rob, come along to our Christmas quiz next week. You're going to love it. I've been spending about a week so far on questions, and there's going to be, at the moment, there's 60 questions. But with the time and chatting and, you know, all of that, I think that's going to well last over 2 hours. We might have to rush it. But there will be prizes up for grabs as well. So at the end of that stream, it's going to be fun. So, and the good thing about that stream is if you want to play it again later on in the year, then the instructions will be on the screen. You can play along. Maybe do the difficulty F40 build is why it sells as a finished model here in the States at well over... What? Oh my God. Kaylan, can you send me your assets for your logo again? I've lost the email. I need your assets again, if you could send that. Because I've been changing the beginning again. Having a go. You're seeing Spider-Man tomorrow. Are you one of these midnight people as well, David? See, I think I went to see the midnight showing as Far From Home. I'm not as invested in Spider-Man as I was with the Marvel Avengers. I think I might be a little bit like marveled out. As a matter of fact, I've hardly watched any TV at all. I've been watching Hawkeye, but other than that, I used to watch TV coming out my ears. But I mean, I watched a Christmas film today. I watched Die Hard today, so that was all I did today. Watch Die Hard, but most of the time working on the Orca, building models. So it's all fun. Well, Knight Rider, if you wasn't aware what's happening with Knight Rider, is Fan Homes reset my collection, which they did with Iron Man. So I'm going to be a month behind everybody now. Might even be 2 months behind everybody. So whereas you were getting to see what's coming on my channel, you'll just see what happened. I'm like the ghost of Christmas past when you come to my channel. The rear elevators on the Zero are paint to fit. Broke mine, got new ones coming. John, is that in the new box, the elevators? I haven't got a clue. I haven't even opened it. I haven't even got it, I don't think. No. So, was it a long build, that box, John? Just out of curiosity. Take care, Ronnie. See you later. You still need a magnet, Wayne. I do, definitely. I need to get on that. I need to get on that merch store as well. Oh, Stratus, well, I don't think I'll be streaming on the 17th, but happy birthday for the 17th. It was a good present for you, that's for sure. No, 4 p.m. Oh, wow. Bicester and Worcester. Yeah, they're two funny ones as well. Otherwise, people are pronouncing them Bicester and Worcester. I don't live too far from Bicester, so I know how to spell that. Toaster's another one. Toaster spelled T-O-C-E-S-T-E-R. Toaster, no, T-O-W-C-E-S-T-E-R. Martin Cooper has said it was from a company called Model Designs, but they're no longer in business, so you won't be able to get one. So unless someone wants to get laser cutters and acrylic and starts making them, I'm really hoping that it could come back. But while there's uncertainty with pandemic, you'd be crazy to start a business at the moment. So it's a long... Oh, God. Okay, thanks, John. I'm going to have to allocate some time for when that comes. Adrian, I couldn't stand Fantastic Beasts. The first one was watchable. The second one was completely unwatchable. And with all the politics going around Johnny Depp for the third one, I'm done. I'm done. I don't want to watch it. You think January might bring some Eaglemoss videos for you? Well, I'm hoping that we might get the Titanic soon. But I was meant to have a conversation with Eaglemoss on Friday, but unfortunately the person that I normally speak to is sick. So I won't be speaking to him again now till January. And by then, I'm sure the Titanic's going to be out. But, I mean, I am going to take some footage of the Titanic exhibition on Saturday. So I can splice that into the film and stuff like that. Hello, Ed. How's it going? You never went to that midnight showing for Spider-Man, didn't you? It was probably Jack then. What are you trying to say? Blackwood near Caerphilly. We enjoyed Caerphilly, David. I tell you, we love Caerphilly when we went there. And when did we go there, Mrs. Wildaway? Was that June? June time? We saw Caerphilly Castle. Wayne, there are no fiddly parts. You are the one who's fiddly. I wish. See, Diadem's 1970. I've got quite thin fingers. I reckon if you've got chunky fingers, you'll have problems with some of these builds. Definitely. I have seen Jack Frost, Ron. But you know, I get more upset with I said the Hobbits bowing in Lord of the Rings. Then you'll be watching the original Dark Crystal. That was brilliant. The original Dark Crystal. Again, it's one of those things that came out at the right time. Because they tried to reboot it on Netflix and I just had no interest in it at all. Perhaps it was my age. Perhaps it was the time it came out. I don't know. But who knows? How to say Lamfair pretty... My dad can say that, Ian. I can't. It's some big station name, isn't it? I've seen something like that. Take care, Kaylin. Oh, is that time? What's the time? Helder saying good night, and you're absolutely right. It is that time. Wow, I enjoyed that tonight. That's really good. So tomorrow, patrons, we're going to be building a V8 engine, and I'm hoping we can do it all in one sitting. So that's going to be good. Thursday, we got our normal chat. Tomorrow, we're going to be... I was going to build the Fast and the Furious, but I think I'm going to edit the magnetic wasp that we built there. So we can have that up on the channel. So the general community can see how that goes together, which is cool. That'll probably leave the Fast and the Furious till Thursday. And you never know. I might have the Jaguar or the Zero or the Leopard by Friday. So we can get that built. But thank you for joining me tonight. And I will see you when we do the next live stream.